Hi, I'm Sarah. Welcome back to my channel where I talk about my journey to sustainable health and meaningful success. If you're coming back and you've already subscribed, welcome back. Y'all are my people and I love you so much. And if you're new, I hope you'll consider subscribing by the end of this video. I post about my sustainable health journey on Sundays and then meaningful success and anti-MLM content on Wednesdays. And today I wanted to show you what I've been doing for meal prep. I just recently moved back in with my family 2 weeks ago, so it's been quite an adjustment to my routine and my just schedule in general. And on top of that, for the month of December up until the 23rd, I have mandatory overtime at work. So I've been working from 7:30 in the morning until 6 at night. So my schedule is pretty booked. I'm pretty exhausted all the time. And I am still trying to lose weight, and I will tell you that I'm not going to tell you how much weight I've lost, but I have lost a pretty good amount of weight just within the past couple of weeks. And so this is what I'm doing. It's working for me right now. I want to show you what I do for meal prep for my breakfasts and lunches because I do eat dinner with my family now that I'm living here. But I do still prep my breakfast and lunches, and I wanted to show you what that process looks like. In the description, you might see more details or just my grocery list, but just have a watch. So I start with washing and microwaving a potato for 6.5 minutes-ish, depending on the strength of your microwave. And while that's going, I spray Pam spray in the muffin tin, and then I line each cup with pepperoni. The tops of the pepperoni, when you put it on there like this, they get really crispy. And I just think that that adds such a nice touch. It makes these egg cups really taste like pizza. It's crazy. So then I crack 12 eggs into a bowl. This will make 6 breakfasts. So I have 2 cups every breakfast. And now that the potato's done, I pop some breakfast sausage into the microwave for 2 minutes while I whisk up the eggs and add the Italian seasoning. I don't measure seasoning, so I couldn't tell you. Then I'm pouring that egg mixture into the tin, and then I have to use a spoon to correct my pouring errors because I'm so bad at eyeballing these things. The sausage is out of the microwave, so I pop my vegetable mix into the microwave for 5 minutes while I cut each sausage into quarters. I only need 9 sausages, so I ate one while I was cooking. But I used 3 pieces of sausage in each cup. And then I'm going to use some sliced olives to top those off and pop them in the oven for 350 degrees for 20 minutes while I chop up my chicken. I had 2 pounds of breast tenderloin. It kind of varies week to week depending on what protein is available at the store. But yeah, this is the protein that I'm using. The potato it's been sitting in its bag for a little bit, so it's nice and cooked thoroughly and easy to mash into the bottom of the bowl. And then I add just a little drizzle of olive oil to moisten the potato. Also, it's healthy fat, so bonus. And then I add my vegetable mix, straight one swap of that to kind of trap in the moisture. And I'm just adding last week's, like the last of the chicken from last week. I try to go for a palm of protein and a thumb of fat. I might talk about that later. Add 10 olives and you're golden. Then with trying to put these in a Tupperware container, your girl is too lazy to find a container that fits, but she can go and find a rubber band to seal it. Throw in an apple and 2 string cheeses and you're good to go. So that's a full day worth of, breakfast and lunch and a snack. And the egg cups are still baking, and I'm just coating the bottom of the pan with olive oil and then evenly dispersing the chicken. And I'm going to season that with onion powder and garlic salt because your girl is not adventurous with seasonings. So all of my food kind of tastes the same. But, I'm fine with that. Oh my God. And then I put garlic salt on top of the egg cups too. So if you're watching your sodium, you might want to, scale it back. But I heard Gordon Ramsay once say that salting eggs before they're cooked cause them to break down, which I don't really know what that means, but I guess that's a bad thing. So I season at the end. I salt at the end at least. And then I put some mozzarella cheese on top, and the oven was turned off as soon as they finished baking, but I just popped that back into the warm oven so that the cheese would melt. Make sure your chicken is fully cooked, and you're done with prep. So before I get into commenting and all that, I want to ask you guys, do you guys wash your chicken before you cook it? Because I was never taught to wash the chicken from the package before you're slicing it up and cooking it. But then I was cooking with my friend Itzel, and she's like, I don't know if it's a Mexican thing, but we generally wash our chicken before we cook it. But I don't know. Maybe it's just a cultural thing, or maybe she's just better at doing life than I am. So let me know in the comments, what do you do? I haven't gotten sick yet, but I would like to be hygienic and clean. So let me know. Anyway, so just to break down what I just made, I know that went pretty quickly. For breakfast, I eat 2 of those egg cups, and I've been putting the string cheese with my breakfast because I don't generally snack. So 2 egg cups and 2 string cheeses in the morning at 8 a.m. is a really great way to start my day. I don't have to start it with a lot of carbohydrates. Otherwise, I would have put the apple at the beginning as well. But it's really good protein and fat, and it keeps me satisfied until lunch. I eat lunch at 1:30. And before 1:30, I've also had 2 cups of coffee. And each of the cups of coffee, I've been putting 2 of those Coffee Mate creamers. And those are 30 calories each. I'm not paying attention to calories too much, but I like to know just so that I don't go crazy with the amount of additives that I put in my coffee and tea. So I've had 160 calories worth of creamer plus 2 egg cups and 2 string cheeses, so that by 1:30 at lunch, I'm eating the bowl of vegetables and chicken, and then I also eat my apple with that. That takes me an hour and 15 minutes to eat. So, or I'll start heating it up and getting it prepared at 1:30. I'll probably start eating at 1:45, and it takes me a full hour to chew and not be stressed while eating it. So I'll eat while at my desk so that I'm not rushing on my 30-minute lunch break. It's what works for me, and my boss is fine with me eating at my desk while I'm working and not counting that as my lunch break. So you gotta work with what you got. You gotta do the best with the cards you're dealt. So I'm very lucky to be able to still work while eating so that I can eat and chew thoroughly and not be stressed when I'm eating. I don't know. Some people like to eat without distraction and they can fit it in a 30-minute time span. For me, I just like to take my time. So, and I eat that bowl of vegetables with hot sauce. So I have a thing of Cholula hot sauce in my cupboard at work. So, but I use a lot of different hot sauces. I've used sriracha and Tabasco and just a lot of different hot sauces to spice it up. I'm a spice girl, so I'm not a spice girl, but I am a girl who likes her spice. Anyway, after lunch, I'll have 1 more cup of coffee because I still have to work until 6 p.m. So I'm having another cup of coffee with 2 of those creamers. I have trained myself to be able to enjoy coffee and tea without anything added to it. But recently, because of the drain on my schedule and the fact that I just feel like I just need to not be constantly thinking and fighting and controlling all the time, something that helps me feel like I don't need as much willpower is to put a little creamer in my coffee. I don't know if that is relatable to you guys, but the whole willpower effect of being really good throughout the day, as though we've attached some sort of morality to the food that we eat, but being good throughout the day, and then at night coming home and binging because we've used up all of our willpower. For me, what's sustainable is I feel like I am enjoying the food that I'm eating or the beverages that I'm drinking when I'm giving myself a little extra. So that's coffee creamer. I don't know. Maybe I'm just defending that to myself, the fact that, I had this really good habit of drinking black tea and black coffee, and now I want to add some stuff to it, and I don't feel bad about it. So then at 6 o'clock I leave work, and I get home by 6:30, and so I'll have dinner with my family. My mom cooks dinner for the whole family, and she cooks really healthy food. It's nothing really heavy, so I will portion myself out a smaller portion than I'm used to, actually, because by the end of the day, and having felt satisfied throughout the day and not felt, deprived of food, I feel like I don't really need to exert a lot of energy in digesting late at night or later in the evening. So I generally have a smaller, lighter dinner, and that's been working for me. And then I'll also drink like decaf tea with creamer. Again. My mom drinks a lot of tea, and so do I. When I was living in my apartment, I would drink tea like plain, but now coming here, my mom drinks it with creamer, and I guess so do I now. It's delicious with half and half. So the first week that I was here, I was just pouring creamer in without really thinking about how much I was using, but realizing how easily those calories can stack up without even really noticing, I put a tablespoon measurement by the tea thing, so when I drink a cup of tea, I'm measuring in a tablespoon of creamer in my coffee. Again, I'm not really paying attention or counting calories, but I gotta keep some things in check a little bit. Like, yeah, I don't want to go crazy with the creamer and calories. So that's been working for me. There are some things that I've had to really adjust to, and that's just the nature of living with people, and also the nature of healing from an eating disorder. So, kind of a trigger warning. I'm just going to tell you what I've been having to work through mentally. Number one, it's been so nice to have communicated with my mom, who's like the meal coordinator of the family. So she is not requiring me to eat dinner at home or even expecting me to eat dinner at home. So if I were to be wanting to, swing by a fast food restaurant and get something from a drive-thru, I wouldn't feel obligated to have a second dinner when I came home to hide the fact that I had already eaten. For me, that's important. Freedom and autonomy is important in the food that I'm eating. So, not feeling like I have to hide that feels really good, even though I never eat fast food anymore. So it's not even something that I presently really need, but just to know that I'm not required to eat something here is really comforting. Another thing that I realized was that the house rule here is that no food is to be kept in the bedrooms or to be eaten in the bedrooms, which is totally fine by me. When I lived on my own, I never ate in my bedroom. I don't like finding crumbs in my bed sheets. I don't like that. But that means that living with other people, eating in a common area, the instinct of, eating disorder, wanting to hide or wanting to not have an audience while I'm eating, is just something that I have to kind of get over. It also was important for me to communicate within the first week that I just need to not feel afraid to eat something that I technically am not supposed to be eating. I just need to be able to feel like I can eat whatever I want, whenever I want, and not feel like I'm going to be judged. And because I'm on a health journey, I'm not trying to, eat a bunch of junk food or anything. But I also just don't want to feel like I'm having to justify it to other people, because that would drive me into the desire to hide. It's something that I did in my childhood, and we don't have to get into the reasons for that. My parents were very generous, loving people, and they didn't starve us. So don't think I was like starved as a child. I just had a lot of issues with food as a kid. So within the first week of living here, like it was a weekend day, and everybody was out of the house, and I decided to have some graham crackers. And so I ate the graham crackers, and then I like hid the evidence that I had eaten graham crackers, and then went back to my room right in time for my mom to come home. And I felt this sense of relief that I had just eaten graham crackers and nobody noticed and nobody would find out, and realized, oh my gosh, after years of not living here, I'm still in danger of falling into the same bad habits and eating disorder tendencies that I struggled with when I was living here. So crazy. But I communicated that with my mom, because I think that sometimes just accountability and getting things out in the open is important, and I don't want to feel like I have to hide the food that I'm eating. So, there's going to be different food here because there's different people on different eating schedules or have different health goals. So there's going to be processed carbohydrates. There's going to be cereal. There's going to be different things that I just will have to choose for myself to not have. I have done my best to put the food that I'm eating in cupboards where it's not directly in the line of sight of like foods that I really wouldn't want to be eating. So there was one item that I regularly reach for, but it's in the same cupboard as the sugar cereal. So I requested that we had that one item moved to a different cupboard so that I could reach for that item and not constantly feel the temptation of seeing the sugar cereal right there. It's just the little things that I have to do in order to avoid having constant battles with myself. It's already enough of an adjustment to be in a different living space and have a different routine, and to be considerate of other people and kind of more cognizant of different things. So I have to have a little bit of grace on myself and do the best I can to set myself up for inevitable success in food areas and different food decisions, and not make it harder for myself than it already is. So that's kind of the gist of what I've been eating. I have been losing weight, like I said. I'm excited for the end of the month. If I keep going like this, we're going to have a really good weigh-in at the end of the month. I know that there's always something that you can improve on. I could decrease the sodium. I could have more plant products and less animal products. And, there's always something that you can improve on. But this has been a long time in the making. And even the fact that I am meal planning and meal prepping in the times of a lot of chaos or transition, that's a big deal. So give yourself a pat on the back for the small things that you do in an effort to make yourself happier and healthier. And, I'm a certified health coach, and with my clients, I always keep in the back of my mind that the more change that someone needs, the less change they can handle at one time. And for me, being nearly 300 pounds, and still working through a lot of different issues, I have to have a lot of grace on myself as well. So I hope that you guys feel some type of way about the food that I have prepared for this week. Maybe you feel encouraged to do a little bit of preparation for yourself. Maybe you feel a little inspired to try new recipes or try new things that might spice up your food life. But in general, we're all just taking it day by day, and the goal is not just weight loss. The goal is sustainable health. So the things that you are doing on a day-to-day basis, if it's causing you to lose a ton of weight all at once, but it's so restrictive and it's just going to lead to another binge session where it gets you right back to where you started or even worse than where you started, then that's not the goal. The goal is to find little things on a day-to-day basis that make your daily routine sustainable and make your body feel really good and nourished and energized. And it's a process, it's a journey, and it's an ever-evolving relationship between you and your body. So, good luck. No, anyway. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in on Wednesday. I'm going to be talking about MLMs again this Wednesday. And, or just tune in Sunday for more of my health journey. Okay. Bye.